Good afternoon, everybody. In the previous video, we discussed the concept of linguistics and we discussed the various aspects of Indian linguistics. And today, let us discuss the concept of Indian contribution to linguistics. And also, we discuss the concept of the origination of Indian linguistics, where exactly the origination took place in Indian literature. The Vedas or the oldest Sanskrit texts, and one of their main themes is the power of speech. So we discussed in the first chapter all the Vedas were written in the form of mantras, and these mantras should be spelt in a correct manner. And misspelt will bring demerits and will bring bad results. We discussed in the first unit. So one of the major themes of Vedas is a very powerful speech. Hence, the Indians placed very great importance on preserving the Vedas. And keeping this in mind, the Vedic scholars and the grammarians and linguists and seeds, they thought that the Vedas should be preserved carefully. And in order to preserve Vedas carefully, the only way is to is pure memorization. And plain memorization is not only enough to preserve Vedas, and it's also important to preserve the meanings of those hymns or mantras. And without preserving the meanings of hymns and mantras, it's useless to preserve Vedas. So that is the reason why the Vedic scholars gave much importance to the preservation of meanings of mantras. And so the first, when these Vedic scholars or when these seeds thought of preserving the meanings of Vedas or preserving the meanings of mantras, there that moment we can find that the origination of Indian linguistics took place, because all the mantras were supposed to be uttered. So uttering itself is nothing but a sound. So sound belongs to phonetics or phonology. So phonology is a part of linguistics. So that's the reason why there, there, the origination of Indian linguistics took place. And there are various theories were propounded by Indian scholars and grammarians and theoreticians and phoneticians to preserve the Vedas and to preserve the meanings of Vedic mantras, or to preserve the sounds of Vedas. So one of the great scholars of Indian linguists was Panini. Panini was one of the greatest Indian linguistic philosophers, and he was a great grammarian. And scholars guess that he belongs between 5th and 3rd centuries BCE. His work was the culmination of perhaps centuries of study and debate. And his great work was Astadhyayi. Astadhyayi is a very famous grammar, is a very famous Indian linguistic literary work that has several formulas and rules and sutras that talk about phonetics, phonology, semantics, and syntax. And Panini produced a very great work, the Astadhyayi, and this Astadhyayi is divided into 8 chapters. This entire work consists of 3,959 aphoristic rules, describes all the classical Sanskrit language grammar. And all these chapters focus on defining terms and explaining how the text should be read and how the text should be understood, how the text should be interpreted. And the Astadhyayi is known for its extreme brevity and is known for its extreme difficulty as well. And brevity is one of the major concerns of Astadhyayi. And Paunini's theory of morphological analysis was a great advanced theory than any equivalent linguistic theory in the mid of 20th century. And his analysis of noun compounds still forms the basis of modern linguistics or modern linguistic theories of compounding. And he proponed some theories called Dvanda, Bauvarthi, some theories of compounding analysis. It was Paunini who enunciated the rules of grammar of Sanskrit for the first time. And according to him, there are several there are several rules. According to him, that no, the Sanskrit language has nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, ablative, instrumental, vocative, and locative noun cases. And according to him, there are three genders like masculine, feminine, and neutral. And according to him, there are three voices: active, middle, and passive voices. Astadhyayi, one of the greatest literary linguistic works, has three associated texts. The first one is the Shiva Sutras. It's a brief but highly organized of the phoneme. The second part of a text is a Dhatu Pada. Dhatu Pada is a lexical list of verbal roots sorted by present class. The third Ganapata is a lexical list of nominal stems grouped by common properties. So these are three texts associated with Paunini's Astadhyayi. And what is the influence of Paunini on modern linguistics? So modern linguists acknowledge that it is as the most generative grammar of any language yet written, and continues to adopt technical ideas from Paunini's Astadhyayi. And the Astadhyayi defined Sanskrit once for all. So the perfection of Paunini's model encouraged all the authors to follow his grammatical rules. And his influence on modern linguistics, especially Ferdinand de Saussure and William Jones and Noam Chomsky, were greatly influenced by Paunini. So thank you.